Thursday morning, and joining us in studio now, the Honorable Mayor of Vicksburg, Mississippi, Mayor George Flaggs. How you doing, Mayor?
Well, good morning. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. Hadn't talked to you in a minute.
I've been around. I've been in a campaign, but I'm through it now, and I'm back at it. When you run a campaign, you campaign, and then you get back to governing like you should.
Well, running a campaign's like taking on a second job.
Yeah, but I look at it a little different. I know that I have to run every 4 years, so I prepare myself. I believe it's all in the preparation. And what I do is create a strategy to win, and we check the boxes. And we did that, missed it by 2 percentage points. Probably would have gotten more votes, but I got hit hard with a picture. Donald Trump and I they put it in every mailbox, and it hurt me by 2 percentage points.
Actually, that's not bad in today's climate.
Oh, absolutely not. And he's still Donald Trump. He still was the president. If I had to do it all over again, I'd do it again. Because it's about relationships. It's about following the money. When people elect people to office, we have to work with them. And I believe in working with whoever people elect. And that's what I do. I work with Republican, Democrat, black, white, men, women, and whoever I have to go see. I'm going to follow the money.
Well, and that's what you have to do, especially if you want your city to grow.
Well, we got a $30 million budget, and over the last 8 years, I've gotten $59 million from state government and federal government, which state government is a supermajority Republican. I got a great relationship with the Speaker of the House, the Lieutenant Governor, and the Governor. I won't keep.
Now, let me ask you this. Last time I talked to you, we were still talking about some revitalization downtown in Vicksburg. How are those plans coming along?
Absolutely on target. And in fact, that's the reason why I think they reelect me, because when I ran in 2013, there was 5 cars. Now we have a parking problem. We just had one of our major hotels to be sold that's going to be transformed like never before. We got a incubator technology center coming, being up and running about April. And then we got other things downtown. We have truly transformed downtown, and it's more of a residential type living setting with some dining and restaurant. But we got more to get. We got a bridge about to be completed, going from I-20 over to on the frontage road over to the outlet mall. We're gonna bring it back quick, and I feel good about Vicksburg in the past we're on.
Now, talking about revitalizing the downtown area, that is something that a lot of folks have concentrated on in the last 10, 15, 20 years, right, because a lot of towns, most towns, kind of decentralized. They went away from the downtown area.
And this is a mistake.
Yeah, I was going to say, I get from this plan, you think that that's not the way to go.
You build a city from inside out, and you build it with small business, retail, and you build it. We went into what we call loft apartment, made it more residential, and kind of mixed it with some commercial use, and it's working real good. We have First Fridays, where people come together with a DJ and enjoy the streets of Vicksburg. We have a daiquiri shop where you can walk in, and it's a leisure district where you can go in and out of restaurant with your cup, and it's going real good. One of the things about Vicksburg is that Vicksburg is simple, but it's easy to manage, and that's what we do.
That is fantastic, and that's not usual. What you were talking about, being able in Mississippi in a downtown area to walk out with your cup, right, from the daiquiri shop and go somewhere else. That's not the case most places.
Well, the legislature gave us authority to create what you call a recreational leisure district. We took advantage of it. Some folks was against it, but now they love it. Another thing you have to do is not raise taxes. You have to incentivize your downtown area. We do abatement for new construction and commercial use. We also do historic tax credit program because we have a lot of historic buildings in downtown, and we manage them well. And we got a what you call New York style pizza restaurant where you can get the best beer in the world, and we expanding that. It's just everything's going great in Vicksburg. And I stay in my lane. I worry about Vicksburg and on the Vicksburg. We do have some challenges. The challenge is no different from no other city. I don't like the crime that we see. I don't like the discharging of firearms within the city. And if I don't do nothing else, we're going to stop it. Or we're at least going to minimize it to a lower position, because people got to feel safe in the community. My grandma got to feel safe on her front porch, and we're not going to have it. And what we're going to do is utilize ankle bracelet and follow the criminal if he get arrested with because of a firearm. I believe in being able to have a weapon, but at the same time, you should have a weapon when you abide by the law.
Well, and that's exactly right. And I'm glad to hear you say one part of that, because a lot of times we hear people, and politicians specifically, that come out and say, we've got to stop this crime, we've got to do something, and usually they don't have any aspect of a plan that they put forward. And it sounds like you put some thought into this, and you do have some actual solid plans to address the crime rate in Vicksburg.
Well, that's on the people side. We're going to get involved on the technical side. There is a tool, a technique that you can place in a tool that you can place on a camera where you can be able to locate the discharge of a firearm within seconds. We're going to implement those kind of programs. I hired one of the best, not hired, but I'm recommending one of the best I know in that business to handle homicide and gang prevention, which has a background in technology, and I know he's good at it. And of course, he happened to be my opponent, but he spoke well about it, and that was the challenge that I had. And why not? When people run against you and give you better idea, why not bring them on the team?
Well, and that is something that we're kind of missing right now. And I want to talk about that later. Like you just said, it was your opponent. And now you're recommending him for a position because it's about getting things done, not about who's right.
And keeping it simple and make it look easy.
That's not a simple thing to do.
Well, that's my motto. Keep it simple, make it look easy.
Now, with this moving forward, let me ask you this. While we're on the topic of crime, and the crime rate, just like everywhere else, is a problem in Vicksburg. What can we do to do away with this completely? What steps can we take? I mean, that's a great tool on the back end after somebody has already done something. What can we do to rein some of this in?
I don't think crime is a problem in Vicksburg. I think it's a challenge in Vicksburg, and there's a difference. Problem when it's get out of control and it's a crisis. Challenge is when you see it coming and you use measurement and ways to offset it, and that's what I'm trying to do. We're gonna go back to community policing, where the police know everybody in every neighborhood, and where people in the neighborhood can communicate and not feel fearful of retaliation when they talk to folks, so that we can get good information. We're going to have good data, and we're going to read the data. But at the same time, I think the state and federal government got to come back in with resources. We just cannot afford, based upon our budget, to afford some of the technology and hire some of the experts that we need. So I think the state needs to get involved and get back to grants, or getting back to some means of giving local government money to handle public safety.
And that, of course, it all comes down to money. It always comes down to money.
Well, it's cheaper to get government money on the front end for prevention than house them in prison.
That's a good point, because we have seen that. We've had plenty of discussions with the Mississippi prison system talking about the cost to the state for each prisoner.
And why not provide some prevention and not worry about incarceration? There's a number of ways as a former legislator we can address this. We can address this by creating education opportunities, programs through DHS and through the development authorities to allow us to have access to money for a program that works. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We need the assessment of programs that work in community, and we can do that. It's cheaper to help with educating a third grade or a fourth grade than it is incarcerating a grown man.
And part of the problem is third, fourth grade. We have heard stories and seen things that's the time when some of these patterns are formed.
Absolutely. And in fact, I'm former chairman of correction. I know for a fact you can determine how many beds you need in a community or in a state or city or county based upon the reading level and of fourth graders, and certainly by eighth grade the dropout rate. And so if we know that's data coming, why not prevent that?